If you fear public speaking, you're in the right place. Most of the advice that you see online treats your fear at the surface level. So you will often hear things like, just be more confident, or weird things like, imagine your audience naked. That's pretty common. This advice does not get to the source of your fear though, but this video does. To really overcome your fear of public speaking, you first need to understand it. And to understand any fear, really, you can follow what I call the chain of whys. So I'll do this for myself. You can first ask yourself, why do I fear public speaking? And then verbalize the first answer that comes to mind. So for me, that answer is, well, I fear messing up in front of others. Well, why do you fear messing up? Because I fear being judged by others. Why do I fear being judged? Because I fear being rejected by others. Why do I fear being rejected? Well, I fear ultimately abandonment. I fear being abandoned. At the base level, your ancient brain equates abandonment with death. And this is the case with much of your fear, whether it's public speaking or your fear of something else. At the bottom of your fear is ultimately a fear of pain, suffering, and death. Here's the thing though. The worst case scenario in your head, death, it's not going to happen. So your brain, what it's doing is firing off all of these danger signals for something that isn't even going to happen. Let that sink in. But this insight alone, it's not enough. You need to convince both your mind and your body that public speaking is safe. And let me be clear about this. Anybody who says that your fear originates solely in your mind or solely in your body is wrong. Your fear exists in both places. And because of that, you need to address that fear from both places. So we'll do that right now with a mental hack and a body hack to overcome your fear of public speaking. And we'll start with the mental hack. That hack is this. Anytime you fear something, your outer world collapses or contracts inward. Your attention and focus also is directed inward. You start to have racing thoughts like, am I good enough? What do they think of me? Am I performing well? You start to over self-monitor. And this creates a downward spiral of negative thoughts that feeds on itself. The way to get out of this downward spiral is perspective and gratitude. Perspective and gratitude. And here is the perspective I want you to have. You live better than 99% of human beings throughout history. You have access to clean drinking water. You have food security. You have a place to sleep at night. You have things that people hundreds of years ago and people in some parts of the world today cannot take for granted because they don't necessarily have them. But you have them. You have it very well. Your ancient ancestors, they feared public speaking because if they spoke up, they could be killed. You fear public speaking because you're worried about being perceived as awkward or you're worried about messing up. In other words, your fear is based on a luxury or a privilege of safety. Let that sink in. Here's another thing. You're here. If you fear public speaking, then you probably have a relatively healthy and capable voice. You're healthy. You're alive. Well, someday you won't be here. The message that you are about to communicate, if you're about to give a public speech, that message, your opportunity and ability to convey that message to your audience, that opportunity is temporary. It's temporary, it's impermanent, and because of that, it's a gift. So treat it as a gift. Someday you will die. Someday you won't be here. You won't have that opportunity to give the gift of your message to your audience. So relish in that ability and that opportunity right now. Use that awareness, use that perspective to develop a deep, deep, grounded sense of gratitude for your life and the opportunity you have to give the gift of your message to your audience. So that's the perspective that I want you to have with public speaking. One of deep appreciation and gratitude for the ability and opportunity and really the privilege to be able to share your message with your audience. So that's the mental side to overcoming your fear of public speaking. Let's talk now about the physiological or body side to overcoming your fear. All of the physiological symptoms of fear, like sweaty palms, racing heart, shortness or shaky breath, because these all originate in the body, at least part of the solution should also originate in the body. That solution is your breath. Most of us don't give a second thought to our breath because our body does the breathing for us. We don't have to think about it. But your breath is a key to unlocking a deep sense of calm and groundedness as a public speaker. The first step with your breath is just becoming aware of your breath. Most of us aren't aware of our breath. The second step is learning how to control your breath. And principally, you want to do two things. First, make your breath deeper through your belly rather than just through your chest. And secondly, slow down your breath. So what you can do is a controlled breathing exercise. There are many of these on the internet. Wim Hof is a good resource for this. Special forces do this, actors do this, musicians do this before taking the stage. And here's a very simple exercise you can do next time you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious about public speaking. First, inhale through your nose for a count of 4, then hold for a count of 4, then breathe out or exhale for a count of 4 to 6. So it will look like this. Simple as that. Try this for a few rotations. Do maybe 3 to 5 reps of this and notice how it calms your nervous system. It makes you more grounded. You can do this 2 days before a big talk or 2 minutes before a big talk. It doesn't matter. It works the same way. It will force your body to become more calm. And when your body becomes more calm, your mind will follow.